Hi, I am Christy Ballard Falani. I am a certified life coach who found herself at 42, freshly divorced, kids off to college, and having never dated in my adult life. I was starting in the middle. If you haven't yet hit start on your middle time in life, let's do it together. Let the journey begin. Hello. Hey, I just want to apologize in advance if you are able to hear that construction that's going on outside. A little bit of banging, but hey, we will get through it. And I just want to tell you what an amazing time I had on my little brain break. If you follow me on social media, you noticed that I didn't post as much. And I did talk about having a brain break. We went to the Texas Hill Country. We took our RV out there. And you can just hear from the sound of my voice that spring is definitely happening. Something is in bloom up there that my allergies do not like. And my allergies are all out of whack now. But hey, that's okay because we are pushing through and we are talking about great things. And in case you do not allow yourself a brain break, man, I tell you what, sometimes your brain just needs to decompress. Sometimes your brain just needs to think and do nothing. You know, I tried to read a book. I tried to start a James Patterson that I have started several times before. And my brain just was like, no, we're not interested. We're not having it. And so I didn't. We did some hiking. We did some dream work. And what I mean by that is that, you know, we like to think about what we want to have happen in our future. You know, we like to talk about what our future will look like. We also played some games. The RV park that we were at had some really cool outdoor games. We learned how to play bocce ball. That was a ton of fun. Yeah, it was super fun losing to my husband. Yeah, not fun. And then we also did a lot of just lounging. Just, you know, taking some naps outside in the hammock, in the lounge chair, just chilling, you know. Sometimes your brain just needs that. In case you are just kind of stumbling upon this podcast, my name is Christy Falani. I am a coach for midlife women who are struggling with finding their purpose and their happiness in what I like to call the second half of life. So I kind of envision in my brain like the first half being you get married, you start your career, you start your family, and then there comes a time when it feels like you're in your second act, you know, like when the kids are doing the adulting thing and they are either off to college or they're off starting their lives. And we're just kind of sitting here going, okay, what now? Well, guess what? There's still a ton. There's still of what nows out there. There's still a ton of adventures to have and experiences to have. And they are all out there for our taking. Okay. Hey, so today I want to talk to you about a model that I recently found myself in. Now, if you are not familiar with the model, and I know that we haven't talked about it for a while, but the model is a tool that I use when coaching myself. It is also a tool that I teach the women that I work with how to utilize for themselves. And basically, the model maps out for us the circumstances in our lives, the things that are happening to us in our lives, and what we are choosing to think about those things. And the thoughts that we are thinking is what creates the feelings that we will have around those circumstances. And so when we are thinking a particular thought and it's causing us to feel a certain way, we act on it. Whether it be that we take action in doing something, or when we take internal action, when we are possibly judging ourselves on it, or we are thinking additional thoughts or looking back into our past experiences. And then, therefore, we create results for ourselves. So I just want to share with you this model that I've found myself in and just kind of see if you can pick apart the different parts of the model. See if you can identify the circumstance. I'm going to tell you the thought that I was thinking, and then I'm just going to kind of go through the model from there. I will also place this model in the show notes because if you're like me, you kind of need that visual, right? I like to see things on paper as well as how they are manifesting in my brain so that I can really process through and I can decide, is that a thought that I want to think? Is that a thought that's serving me? Is that a thought that is helping me attain what I truly want in my life? Okay. So here's the model of how it worked for me. So a couple of weeks ago, I ran in my 4th half marathon. And I tell you that it is my 4th because I am not an elite athlete. If you look through my social media, you will notice that no, I am an athlete that is more recreational. Okay. So when I go to these races, my thought isn't that I'm going to run balls to the wall and my plan is to place first, second, or third, right? No, I go out for the adventure of it. I go out seeing how far my body can take me. I go out purely for the fun of it all. And yes, I say fun because most people don't think of running as fun. And honestly, if you had asked me 10 years ago, I would have told you the only reason you're going to see me running is if a clown is chasing me, right? I don't like clowns. They're kind of scary. But anyway, it wasn't until later in life, my mid-40s, that I decided, hey, I want to try this thing. And the whole reason that I decided to try this thing is because I saw other people my age doing it. And I was like, heck yeah, why not me? So anyway, back to the model. So on race day, my husband and I are standing there at the start line, just anticipating how this whole thing is going to go, having those butterflies in our tummy of, oh my gosh, we're fixing to run 13.1 miles. When I happened to notice a group of ladies standing in front of me. And I knew that I recognized these ladies from other races that I had done in my hometown. And so me coaching myself and wanting to step out of my comfort zone more, I tapped the lady on the shoulder, because it is my goal to be more outgoing. It is my goal to speak more freely when I see people that I recognize, to reach out and to meet new people. So I tapped her on the shoulder and I said, hey, good to see you here. I hope you have a great race. Enjoy the time. Blah, blah, blah. I can't remember exactly what I said. But she said, hey, you too. And then she turned back to the other group of women that she was talking to. And a few seconds later, I noticed it. I noticed the lean in. The lean in where they start chatting amongst themselves and you really have no idea what it is that they're talking about, but the lean in tells you they must be saying something about you. You see, the other lady leaned in closer to say something, and obviously I could not hear what she was saying, but immediately my brain went to the thought, they're saying something ugly about me. And man, did I feel disappointed. You see, after all, I was putting myself out there. I was making an effort to speak up. I was stepping out of my comfort zone to try to meet new people. And then, of course, I started looking inward to all of the things that must be wrong with me. And I started judging myself when it hit me. Wait a minute, girl. You have no clue what they were saying. Why would you immediately jump to the conclusion that they are saying mean things about you? Because that's what our brain does. It sensed the danger of being hurt by someone else's words or someone else's opinions. Or perhaps it was my own insecurity within myself that, of course, others are probably thinking those things because I think them. Or I am thinking ugly things about myself, therefore other people must be as well. Did you notice that once I thought they were speaking ill about me, that's directly where my brain went. It went immediately to its default mode. It went to the old way that Christy thinks about herself. I had to be purposeful to snap it back into the newer, higher version of the way Christy thinks. The part of my brain that says there could be any number of things that those ladies were saying. It could have absolutely have nothing to do with me. So a couple of things that I want to point out to you here is that your brain is always trying to protect you from harm. And no matter how much thought work you do, there is always going to be times when it thinks that it is helping you out, when it is trying to help you by jumping back into that old protection default mode. But you have the power to use your higher level, your more evolved way of thinking to redirect your thoughts, to either shut that silliness down or choose to believe different possibilities. But something else that happened here, and if I'm being perfectly transparent, my brain never would have went there if this had not been an activity that I had participated in the past. You see, if I am being perfectly real with you, my brain never would have went there if this wasn't something that I had done in my past. You see, our brain likes to do that too. It likes to speak and it likes to bring up past experiences. So that little nuance of the leaning in must mean that super top secret things are being said about another person. Does this resonate with any of you? Have you found yourself doing this either now or in the past? I mean, of course, we like to think that we are evolving, that we are learning, that we are growing. And yes, we are evolving, learning, and growing from our past experiences. And that's how my brain knew that this must be happening, because it is something that I have done in my past. And you see, here's the thing. As we get older and wiser, we start to see patterns within our own lives of the things that have hurt us and the things that we are doing to heal. You have the power to transform your thinking. You can heal your own wounds through changing your old thoughts and beliefs that you have been carrying around for far too long. I believe in the power of coaching, but because it has changed me. It has helped me to step out of my comfort zone to meet new people. It has helped me to believe in myself and the experiences that I have been through to help women who are just like me, women who want more out of their lives versus who are just stumbling through day by day, doing life, same old, same old. And hey, if same old is what makes you happy, then that's great. Some people feel comfort and safety in what is predictable. But for me, it made me feel stagnant and it made me feel stuck in unhappiness. And it made me think on repeat, there has got to be more. So let's look back at this model and let's kind of break it apart. So the circumstance, the truthful things that happened that day that are totally neutral, the things that we could prove that had happened without opinion, without bias, is that I was at a race. I spoke to some ladies. The ladies spoke words to each other. And these are words that I have no way of knowing what they were. And my thought around those circumstances was that they must be saying mean things about me. And my feeling based off of that thought was disappointment. And the actions that I took from disappointment was that I started judging myself. I started questioning my own validity. And I started to predict in my own brain what it was that they were possibly saying about me. I started judging myself. And the result that I was creating because of my thought was that I started saying and thinking bad things about myself. That was my result, is that I started doing those things. It didn't matter what those ladies were saying. I had no clue what they were saying. But based on that thought, oh, they must be thinking bad things about me. And then I felt disappointed in the actions that I did take. And then I started internalizing it and I started making crap up in my brain about what they were possibly saying about me. I started judging myself and thinking that I shouldn't have reached out to people that I don't even know. I shouldn't have offered encouragement. I mean, who am I to even be there? So can you see how damaging this type of thinking is? Of course I belonged there. I belong anywhere I choose to be. Of course I should lift up other women and offer encouragement to anyone that I come in contact with. When I allowed my brain to think something different, something that truly resonated with the woman that I wanted to be, the judgment shed. I stopped judging myself. I allowed the joy of encouraging others to well up inside of me. I allowed myself to enjoy every single mile, every single step that my feet would take for me. And when the road ahead got tough and I questioned why I was even out there running those miles, I encouraged me. I spoke positivity to myself and I finished strong with the joy of accomplishing what I had set out to do that day. So as you can see, I decided that that model was not working for me. That model was not fueling the woman that I wanted to be. It was not fueling the change and the transformation that I wanted to see in myself. And so I decided to believe a different thought. I decided that it didn't matter what those ladies were saying. And more than likely, it had nothing to do with me. I was there for me. I hope you have found this episode to be empowering and inspiring. My hope is that through my words, you will begin to think about your own life and realize that only you have the power to create the life that you want to live. And I can show you how. Together, we will build the skills and the strategies that will become second nature in creating your own journey. Each week, I set aside free time on my calendar to connect with women who want to learn more, women who know they want to make lasting changes but don't know where to start. If we discover together that I am not the coach for you, I can certainly recommend one that is. You see, my journey is all about helping as many women as I can reach the potential that they desire. So connect with me at ChristyBallardFalany.com. Click on Work with Me to set up your free chat. It by no means obligates you to anything. It simply gives us an opportunity to talk one-on-one about some of the struggles that you have been facing and how my program will be able to help you. You can also connect with me through Instagram and Facebook. I offer a ton of free content to help you get moving forward towards being the strong, confident woman that you want to be. And I look forward to hearing from you soon. Have an amazing week, my friends.
Who is your life coach? I would love the opportunity to work with you as you are rediscovering the woman you were meant to be. Visit ChristyBallardFalany.com for more information on how we can work together to ignite that passionate, enthusiastic woman who may have been tucked away for some time. Let's start in the middle together.